Hi, good evening. Welcome to another edition of Neighborhood News, Tuesday night. And I'm not going to give the date.
but Channel 95.
Yeah, Channel 95.
We're back for one more Neighborhood News, and another week went so fast, and it's so much going on in the city, and so much happening that the weeks keep going faster and faster and faster. But we're back, and again, I want to remind you, if you're watching this show and it's not a Tuesday and it's not 7 o'clock at night, you are probably watching a repeat show. But we will come back Tuesday, 7 o'clock, Channel 95, with one more show. Sejam bem-vindos mais uma vez ao nosso programa Notícias da Sua Vizinhança. Nós estamos de volta terça-feira às 7 da noite. Aqui no canal 95 nós trazemos mais um programa de notícias da sua vizinhança para si. Fique connosco e espero que gostem do nosso programa de hoje.
So we're going to have to do this solo because we had a few guests and
exactly.
Yeah, just didn't make it. So that happens sometimes.
But that's okay, because we always have so much to talk about, and it's so much going on in our city that we will fill up half an hour really fast. But stay with us. Probably you're going to hear some. Maybe you're not going to like some, but that's usually our opinions. And just as residents in Fall River, taxpayers of the city, voters of the city, it's only our personal opinions. And believe me, we sometimes we don't agree with each other, but we always leave our disagreements behind. We shake our hands and we move on for another project.
Exactly. And that kind of leads into, Carlos, what we were talking about before the show, that if you listen to talk radio over the last week or two, when I listen to it, in and out doing, you're working and stuff like that, when you do hear it, people are really angry. I get that, but there's no need to, call up and scream. And that's what's been happening.
And the way I see it is this, and that's why people's been telling me, Carlos, you are very quiet. We're not hearing about your opinion, because the end of the day, my opinion, it's my opinion. It's not going to change. We can have a 2-hour conversation. You're not going to change my opinion. So why I am just going, it's like talk for nothing. I have my opinion, I made my decisions, and I stay behind my decisions, and things move. I have a lot more to worry about it than, whatever's going on in the city. Just like my personal life, I have to wake up every morning, go to work, and provide my family. On my neighborhood side and on my donation time, on my time that I separate to help somebody else, to help a neighborhood. It's so much going on that I don't have time to even pick up the phone and call the radio station. I don't have time for that. I have my opinion. I hear everybody. I hear all different opinions. A lot of them, I don't agree with them. But I respect them for the opinions they have. And I'm not going to lose my time and talk for an hour. And the end, we're going to have the same, we're going to be on the same step. Nothing's going to move for it. So that's why I think I have a lot going on the neighborhood. It's so many projects. I've been having so many calls for so many projects. Some of them I love them and I grab them and I try to make them a reality. Some of them I wish I had the time to do it, but this year is not possible because my agenda is already so full. But that's what I'm looking for. I wake up in the morning with a project, with something positive that I know the end that's what I like, you know, to get people involved, to get people to volunteer, any kinds of ages. I don't care, from a 2-year-old to, you know, a 40, 50, 60, you know, taking our citizens to bus trips, and, you know, I don't care. That's what I live for. It's to have something
good.
positive.
No, you're right.
You know, and all this negative, it's behind me. It's not gonna distract me for what I have to do.
Well, I mean, and I hear you. I mean, you don't want to always, you know, lead to that negative. We've always said that with the show. We always want to be positive here, but there are issues, we understand, you know, and one of them I want to just briefly talk about is that, you know, we want change in Fall River. We've been saying that for, God, they've probably been saying that since the Fall River line moved out in the 1920s. They've wanted things to change. But the big issue is, and I was really kind of hopeful when I saw that the recall people, they registered about 800 or 900 new voters. I thought that was fantastic. They got new voters in. And then I was disappointed when we had the election and we had a 14% voter turnout. And I'm like, these folks are, you know, it's going to be our next governor. It's going to be our next congressman. And, you know, we didn't have anybody show up, really.
And again, I will do the right thing when at the right time. That's what I believe. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do the right thing at the right time. When elections come, I will do the right thing and the right decision that I think needs to be done. That's what everybody needs to do. You know, and it's like when you buy a car and then you find out that you don't like that car. What are you going to do? If you trade it in, you're going to lose money. So you're going to hang up with that car until the last payment, and then now you have a value to change for something that you like. So it's right now it's like this. People know my opinion about the mayor. I'm not a stranger, you know, in the city. People know, and especially my friends know how I vote and who I support. But with that being said, I don't care who's on the 6th floor. I have a neighborhood to take care of. And I don't care who's sitting on the 6th floor. I'm going to work with that person. And that person needs to be responsible, because I'm not knocking on his door to ask anything personal for me. I'm not knocking on his door to fund a job for me. I'm not knocking on his door to go and send city workers to cut my grass on my backyard. I'm knocking on his door to help the community, to help my neighborhood. And I don't care who's there, if I support it or if I don't support it. I'm going to work with that person, you know. And period. That's it. I don't have anything else to say. It's
well, you know, no, and that's fine. But I think that we have issues that have been festering for the last 10 or 15 years, at least. You know, with the landfill closing, with not having enough income or resources coming in. So no matter what, no matter who is the next mayor, these problems, whether it be Mayor Flanagan or if somebody else comes in new next November, they still have these issues, and we have to come up with solutions for these issues. And going to that was the whole pay-as-you-throw. You know, now I think Ken Pacheco said they're at a 95% compliance rate, so they're saving like $15,000 or $16,000 each week in the trash that we were throwing out, and they're not sure where they are with the bag cost, or you know what they're getting in revenue there. However, you hear a lot of people that people are complying, which we knew they would do, but everybody was in an uproar at the time, and we see that it's worked. And I heard Ken today on the radio say that it's you know, people, we knew they were going to be not wanting to do it, but they did it. And I hear people say now it's no big deal. It's no big deal. So I think we have to look at these other areas that have to be looked at. Yes, there are fees. We get what we pay for, you know, and it all goes back to, you all know this, you hear this, we got to bring middle class families back here. You're right, we do. But we've never had a big middle class in the city to begin with. It was a working class more. But if you're middle class and you want them to come back from Dartmouth, Somerset, Westport, wherever, you have to provide things. You have to have your roads fixed. You know, your schools have to be, you know, performing, and you can't have, and I think the school department's done a decent job, but you can't have 31 kids in elementary school. No parent was going to want to have their kid in an elementary school that has that many children. So there are just so many things that have to be done. And I've said this, and you know, I haven't had anybody say it to me yet, but they probably will. We have been catering to the low income in our city for years. They can't afford to pay it. And this goes also with the seniors too. You know, I mean, we've been catering to people all this time. What has that brought us? It's brought us more low income. We can't survive on just having that anymore because the small middle class that supports a big part of the city is leaving. So for us to keep them here, they have to be part of the picture. And I don't think people are part of the picture. I don't think that we do that. I think we're looking at how are we going to keep the tax rate low, and nobody wants taxes higher. I get it. But you know, because they can't afford it. I can't afford this. I can't afford a $2 bag. I can't afford this. You know.
And I have to say this: when we talk about business, and people say, you know, let's keep the tax law so we can be business friendly. That doesn't happen. Business don't want to move here just because the tax are low.
Well, you know what? I mean, Mario. I was thinking of Mario. Yeah, Mario. I was thinking of you in the camera room there.
Hi.
But no. What I've been hearing, Carlos, and I've been hearing, the tax factor now is at like 169. People don't realize that we pay roughly now, I think, $12.80 or something. I think that's what the tax rate's going to go up to. The businesses are paying almost $24 $1,000. And when you hear that, they say, well, you know, the businesses can absorb that. No, they can't. They can't absorb it anymore. And I've been hearing people say when the tax rate's set again, they want it to go back where it's basically, you know, in favor of the homeowner. Right now, they're paying 169 of that. They want it to go back to the full 1.75. It's like, how do you expect these businesses or to gain businesses coming in here when they're already paying double and you want them to pay even more than that? It's just, you know, it can't happen. And if we want to finally go about moving the city forward, and this has been going on for years, that we have to, if we want to attract people and be like the big boys, we have to act like them too.
Yeah. And I have to say this, and the reason we are stuck now is because, and I'm in the city for 28 years now, we always been voting people that say, I'm not going to raise tax, I'm going to take a fee out so you don't have to pay. That's how people been voting. And putting aside the ones to say, I have this beautiful future for the city, but I need to raise this tax and I need to raise this tax to have this. People been trashing those candidates. They will never come back because this is people that really want to do something and make a difference. They're going to run once. They're not going to run 5 times. They're going to run once and ask the opportunity to give the city what they have in mind and to going to change the city. And we've been trashing them out of the door to give mayors, to put mayors in place that don't want to raise our tax, okay, and
or raise anything.
And that's what we are where we are right now, because for the past 30 years, and I'm just talking about 30 years because that's when I'm here, okay, for the past 30 years we've been electing people just to go and make people live check by check.
No, you're right.
Okay,
you're right.
And this happened with my personal life. I have a company for 26 years now. Just on this last year alone, I lost 3 customers. Why? They moved to Rhode Island to put their kids through college, to put their kids through school. the kids go through school. They come and they move to Rhode Island to pay maybe 3 times more in tax.
Yeah.
But guess what? They know the kid's going to get the best education they can get on the country.
Yeah.
So what happened was, I lost 3 customers because the kids now are out of college. One funds a job in Washington, the other one funds a job in Tennessee, and they're all over. And the parents finally put the houses for sale and move away. I'm lucky because we keep the homes because the houses go for sale, and we keep the house with the next client that comes in.
Yeah.
We have customers that the kids will, in school, we had to drop them at the school sometimes because they didn't have a right to go to school. The parents had a job, whatever. Yeah. And we dropped the kids. Now they're in college.
Yeah.
So, I mean, this passes by me, and I can see the difference from Rhode Island, or Barrington or Newport, compared to Fall River.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting that you say Pawtucket, Rhode Island, Cranston, Rhode Island, they all pay over $20 a thousand in taxes. We're paying 12. And I'm not saying that we want to raise taxes, because everybody will scream that they don't want that to happen. But you know what? Our roads aren't fixed. Our roads, I live on a main road, and it's in ridiculous condition. Trucks go by, everybody's house shakes when they hit these holes. So my thing is, you know what? You get what you pay for. If they come in and say, hey, your taxes are going to be $400 or $500 more a year, but we're fixing 20 streets in the next 5 months, and they're the main streets, and then we're going to hit these, and these, then you see what it's going for.
And I have to add this. When we talk about Fall River not fixing streets, just what's going on with the 79 or the Braga Bridge, it's a perfect example that even Boston don't look at us as a city that they want to spend their money. That's how they look at Fall River. Because if we had everything updates, our streets update, our sewer updated, they would be investing more money in our city and not thinking twice why we're going to spend money in Fall River.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's been 20 years since Braga Bridge has been painted.
Yeah.
Okay, when you look to other bridges around the states, and you see them painted every 5 years.
Well, and they vote. People vote there.
Exactly. Exactly. So that's why I'm saying Boston knows. Boston knows how we deal with this stuff, and if we are worth it. If we and they like this. You spend $1, we will spend 1,000. If you don't spend $1, I'm not going to spend money there. And that's how they see it. And then everything's falling apart, and they don't have other choice with us putting the money here. But guess what? That comes with a big attached.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
With a big attached.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. No, and that's the thing. Everybody complains about everything being thrown into Fall River. Well, you know what? When you get 60% of your budget from the state of Mass, it's like you with your 2 girls. If one comes up to you all the time and is asking you for money all the time, and the other one doesn't, who are you going to take more seriously? We always have, and people don't like hearing that, but we do. We always have our hand out asking for things, and you know what? We got to do what we got to do, but we got to try to change the whole dynamic. And we can't keep on doing what we've been doing, catering to folks. All that does is it's attracting in more low income. We can't have it on the scale this way and then the other way, no. So we got to get a happy medium. That's how when you get more middle class in, that's going to create more jobs because they're going to ask for different services. And that's how things are going to change. And it's going to lift up the low-income people too.
Exactly. And I have to say this. I'm not saying that because I don't like the people that are, using those benefits. And it's great people. I know I have a lot of friends that are using the benefits. But what I'm saying is, the other cities, they're going to keep the best, and they're going to throw to us what they don't want it, because they're getting money.
It's not even that. It's economics.
Exactly.
Basically, if you're living even if you live in a tough area in Boston, they're paying $1,800 for like a 2 or 3 bedroom apartment, where you come down here and it's like $700. So it's just basic economics.
Yes.
You know, that's why they're going to do this.
And we getting in trouble because the money that they sending to us, it's not enough to pay for the trouble that these people bring with them.
Yeah, well, it's the services.
Exactly.
There is, it's a high
but
demand service.
now we need more police. Why we need more police? Why we need fires and firefighters and all of that? You know, all that comes with the responsibility that we getting because we taking that money.
Yeah, but it all goes back to, like you said, I lived in a housing project when I was a kid for like 5 or 6 years. So, you know, it's not that. I think it's the survival. If we just have just one set of folks, you can't survive. You just can't do it. You know, if it was all rich people that we had living in the city, then yeah, you could survive. But we need to have a mix, and that's the only way this is going to move forward in this city. We're not going to see any change, and it needs to be looked at by all the elected officials. What can we do to attract middle class people back here? What can we do? You know, and I've heard some good ideas. Wayne and Faust, I've heard some good ideas from them, where, you know, some of these 3-family houses, we've lost 3,000 people in the last census. Why do we need all these multifamilies? If someone would like to, you know, kind of make that a single family, you know, maybe there's a way of getting funding, you know, federal funding to do that, and then you have a lot less density too. So, you know, there's a bunch of ideas, but you know, the problem is people are so frustrated, I think, now because nothing happens. You know, we get this little, you know, we move 2 steps forward and then we move like 10 steps backward all the time.
Yeah, and right now, I think that the people, it's not just the city council is divided. No, the people in Fall River are divided. The whole city, it's divided now. For you know, I mean, I don't want to say for something that it should not be happening, because again, I respect the people. I respect the people that are doing the recall. They have their rights, but I don't like when they say, "We the people." I'm sorry, now we the people, because I'm the people too, and I don't want part of it. You know, part of this. They should use us, the recall people. That's one thing. When we the people, okay? And I have to say, I speak in front of the city council many times. I respect the 3 minutes they give me. That's what they give to everybody. I don't sit in there and push for another 3 minutes, and I keep going, and I keep going. I'm sorry. That's the respectful for me and for somebody else that's sitting in there, okay, that use that time, because what's going to happen is they can say no more time for nobody, and now we're going to lose. Okay, so let's respect everybody. 3 minutes is 3 minutes. I've been in front of city council many times that I never ask for another minute. Never, because I try to shrink everything that I have to say into the 3 minutes. But probably in the future, I should take the advantage of the extra minute, because it's there. Everybody uses. I should use it. But I don't want to bother the other people out there too. I need to be respectable for the city council. I don't want to talk back to any city council, okay? Because I need to show respect. And when I don't follow the rules, I'm not respectful.
Well, I think what's happened, you know, because we're the same age, roughly the same age, I think...
I'm a lot younger than you.
Yeah, you are. But anyway, I think what's happened is that people now, you know, what's happened with all of society, it's just not here in Fall River, is that there's a loss of respect. You know, that if you do disagree with someone, you just start hollering. And personally, for me, if you are already raising your voice during an argument and really talking loud, you already lost me, because now I'm just listening to you yell.
I will just walk away.
Yeah, it just so.
When somebody uses the voice louder than me, you know, I just walk away, because it's no way we're going to get into an argument. We're going to went into a fight, and then I'm going to lose you as a friend. So I prefer to walk away, so you come down, and then we will talk, or I will call you back, whatever, but leave it there. One thing is, we need to have respect. And during all this process, they have the right to do everything.
Yeah.
But the only thing that I don't like is when they lose the respect.
Yeah. Well,
Okay?
I agree with you, because I think Fall River, and it has changed a lot. Because I think we get new generations, and new generations act differently. But I think when I moved here in 1978 to Fall River, that it was never a rich place. You had working class, you had some poor, you had some middle class. So it was the community then, but everybody, basically was respectful. They had manners, and you know what? People might laugh, but I think they showed some class. You can still have class even when you're poor. You can still have class and respect yourself and respect others. And I think that's something that's really been lacking. And you drive around the street, somebody beeps at you, the first thing that comes out is the 4-letter word. I'm like, you know what? Yeah, and they have kids in their car. It's like, you know what? You're not respecting your children. Never mind other people. It's just not something. But I think that's changed here, and it's changed everywhere. And there's got to be a way to bring that back, because it's not helping anything. It just makes everybody mad, and they're looking for the next time to go after you. And it's not helpful.
And the way
at all.
the society is today, you don't know who has a gun, who has a knife. That's the truth. You don't know who's gonna just shoot you just because you cross in front of him. You don't know. It's the way the things are right now. But in a way, I'm happy that they got 900 new voters.
That's great.
My message for them is
vote.
Don't put just the name on the list just because you're hungry to somebody. Use that vote to make the change.
And to help and make a difference here.
And make the difference, because 900 votes could make the difference.
I agree.
900 votes could make the difference.
One thing before we go, I'll just say this real quick. The last election, the last mayoral election, which was last year, I think they had an 18% turnout. And everybody now, you know what, I get it. They're doing this now, but to keep things going, you got to get out there and vote.
But I'm going to leave with this. The mayor got almost 9,000 votes. I don't have the correct number. But Joe Cavallo got 3,800 votes. Okay, so you see the difference in votes. They got, counting with the new 900 votes registered, they got 5,500, something like that. Okay, so we are really not see a big difference.
No, you're right. So
a lot of people that vote for Joe Cavallo was voting against the mayor. Okay. It's a lot of people that put their name on the recall, because to start, they didn't vote for the mayor.
I didn't even think of that. That's right.
So if we're going to discount the 900 votes, we are very close now. And now we're going to take another 200, 300. They're not registered to vote. So what are we going to end up with? The same votes that voted for Joe Cavallo. So that's my thought. The end of the show. Thank you, and see you guys next week.
Have a good night.
Thank you, John.
Thank you.